Good morning. Ooh, it's a nippy one today, that's for sure. Now, I'm just going to get myself sorted out and move stuff about. Hi Philippa, hi Bev, hi Gail. I hope you're all okay and keeping warm. It's not so icy, but it is nippy. Well, thanks for joining me anyway this morning. And let me see, I've tried my best to stop the pulse, but it won't do it, so that doesn't seem to be very straight, does it? Let me just check. Give it three seconds to catch up and see. Oh, I'm sure you can see it, you can see it. Can everybody hear me and everything okay? Yeah? All good? Right, okay. So I don't have a sample to show you because I sent it to Julie. So we're just going to have to go as we go. So... Hi Jane, good morning. So I'm going to make a start, and the first thing we're going to do is make an easel card base. Okay, so we are using, to create that, we're using Julie's Dinky Circles dies. Now I've got both sets of these, but we're going to be using the larger ones. Hi Andreen. We're going to be using the larger circles to create the card base. Okay, and those are the big one with the scalloped edge and the two that have when you cut them out, they give you a little rim. We're going to use those two for all the different sizes, for the mats and layers that we're going to have on it. Okay, so first things first, let's make the card base. So fold it A4 in half, score it if you wish. Okay, and then we're going to take this large circle and we're going to place it on, but we're going to leave an overhang there. Okay, up to you what size you leave, you know, it's totally up to you. And then you tape it down and you run it through. Now I'm using 300 GSM and Julie's dies cut through both pieces at the same time absolutely perfectly. No problem at all. But if you find that yours doesn't do that, then you have to run it through kind of forward and back, forward and back. Morning, Brian. Just to get it to go. But mine cut it perfectly first time. So once you've done that, you end up with this. And it's cut on the fold. Just ready for you to crack on with the next bit. And then you cut yourself an extra one, using the same die, and that will be the front facing part of the easel. Okay, so next thing you need to do is, you can find the centre of what you've got here and score it if you wish, but to be honest, I just gently fold it over, make sure it looks straight so it's not going to sit, you know, on the slant, then gently push it down and then bone fold it. That's all I do. I don't really bother with the scoreboard for this. There we go. And then what we're going to do is add this piece onto there, and then you will have created the base. Okay, in order to do that, you just put some glue on this part that you folded down. Make sure you do the little scallops, because you don't want it to come apart, and fold a bit along the top and then put some across there, and then you carefully make sure you've got it the right way around, because it does put a nice little indent line all the way around the outside. Morning, Josephine. So laying it up as best you can with the scallops. My hands are cold, so I'm kind of shaking. There we go. And then press it down. Make sure it's in place. And there you have then your easel card base. You can see it like that, stands at the side. I find that's the easiest way of doing it. So we have the base, and it will stand up because we'll create a stopper. So the next thing we need to do is cut out 2 white circles, okay? And we use the largest of the ones with a rim on, and we cut 2 of those. Okay, you'll see what they're for in a minute, but keep those circles for another project. So we need 2 of them, and we also need to cut 2 of those in exactly the same size for the bits we're going to decorate, and we have to cut them from vellum, okay? So we have those, and then the next thing we have to have is 2 edges. So how you do that is you use your large one and you use your small one, and the difference between that one and that one will cut your frame part of it out, ready to pop on top. So that's your easel card pieces, and we'll put them to one side. Oh, and I've also got 2 pieces of cardboard as well. Now this cardboard was really thick, so what I decided to do was run it through my die cutting machine just to pop it down, squeeze it down a little bit. I didn't want it to be that high. So that's just a little tip there if you've only got really thick cardboard. So the next thing we need to do is bring in the stamps we're going to use. And I'm going to use Blooming Delightful, which is like the hexagon shaped ones. I'm also going to use the Blooming Bouquet stamp of Julie's, and I'm also using, for the sentiment, Hazel's Medley dies, but they're a mixture of all of them, you know, one from another, because I'm lucky I've got all the sets, so very lucky there. But you can mix and match them. So they're the things we're going to be using to create the patterns on top. So I'm going to use, not the largest one, you could if you wish, I'm going to use the next size down. So I will now need to bring in my stamp platform. Good morning, Sue, Eileen, Anne, Jenny, good morning. Now I have got a lot of this prepped up. I usually do have, as you know, but I just wanted to show you the last little part and then you get the gist. So this is the vellum circle that I've cut out, and I've already started to stamp and then heat emboss with the white Wow powder from Wow, obviously, and it's up to you. I mean, this would work lovely with the squares as well. It's up to you how many you put on, how few, but I always start with one sort of central full one, and then you can do them, turning them round as you go. I didn't want you to have to see me do all of them all at once. So here we go. Now, because it's vellum and it's took a lot of handling, and I've also got hand cream on, I'm going to use the anti-static bag on it as well, just to make sure I've got no grubby little fingerprints on it. Oh, you're alright, no worry, Eileen. You can always go back and watch it again, it's fine. So I've inked up my Versamark, and I'm just going to get a spare bit of card to catch all the powder with in a moment. Put that up ready. And so I've placed it down, and now I'm just gonna, I have re-inked this so it's quite juicy. Like taps. I like to keep a black piece of paper underneath it because you can see on black when you're doing the clear embossing how good you can see it better. You can see it much better on black than you can on white. So you can see if you've got a good layer on as such. You don't have to press too hard, because if you press too hard you kind of splurge the stamp house and you get like a distorted image. So, and I am doing these one at a time because I've got the heating on. I don't want this Versamark to dry, so I'm going to do them one at a time. So there we go. I'm just going to, a little bit noise now while I do the heat embossing. It doesn't take very long to heat emboss on vellum, so don't go too close because you might singe the vellum. And with white, you can see it move, you can see it go immediately. It's really quite quick. And then we've got one more to do. So pop it back down again. Get rid of this paint powder before I get it everywhere. Okay, so we've just got one more to do. And as you can see, you've seen the process now. I'm sure everybody has done a bit of heat embossing in the time. So what I do to reposition the stamp is put a piece of acetate over the top, and I always put piece of washi tape over my acetate because I always lose it on my desk. So now you can just pop that last one in. Pick it up. Ink up. Don't forget the anti-static bag. Hiya Jenny. No bother, you can pick it up later when you've got time. And then gentle press with the fingers. Have a look at it. Yeah, I think that's okay, but I'm going to, just to be sure, I'm going to go in one more time. Hi Leslie. No problem, sweetie. You can catch up whenever you like. There we go. So, let's pick it up. Redo the embossing powder over the top of it. Put it away, and then that's that bit done. Okay, I will clean the stamp a little later. There we go, that's that one done. Now let's just heat this, and we're all good. Morning Jill. Get your gun hot, and then it doesn't take long at all to do the last one. There we are, and that's that done. So now it's down to colouring this. The original one I did for Julie, I think I did in three different colour lilacs. This time I'm going to brighten it up, and I'm going to use Studio Lights acrylic markers. And these are acrylic paint in a pen, and there's 2 different colours on each pen. They're quite reasonably priced, and you can also get these acrylic markers on Amazon as well. Not these exact ones, but very, very similar. And they're great because you can use them on glass, on stones if you decorate stones. You can do all kinds of things with them. But I like them because they give a kind of enamel look from the front. So find out which side you've done your embossing on and turn it over. Okay, and now you can have fun. All you need to do, and you don't have to be neat for this, is colour in from the back your flowers. So you are now going to watch me colour all these flowers in. Not twice, because I've already done one set. So you just keep going and colour in. And like I said, you don't have to be neat, because all that happens is the colour shines through and it looks real pretty. So what we're aiming for is that. Okay. Now, at the moment it's leaning on a black mat, so it doesn't look very bright. But you'll see. There we go. Just change the ends. I tend to put a couple of colours in each one. This is a darker orange, and I'm going in with a yellow as well if I had a third flower. You can always check from the front to make sure you haven't missed any bits of it. No, it's looking okay. And if you want, you can go in with a third layer to make it as deep as you want, but it's just a different look. Of course, if you don't have acrylic markers, you can use your distress inks or your pro markers, or your alcohol ink markers, or you can just leave it so that it's white and pretty. Put a darker colour card behind it to make it shine through. There's loads of ways you could do this and change it up. So, and this is going to take a while. I honestly thought it wouldn't take too long to do, but hey ho, I do enjoy colouring flowers. Now, I'm doing this one, even though this is quite an oldish sample. A lady asked me how I did it. I can't remember her name now. So, unfortunately. But she's going to be looking at it later when she's finished work. So, but it's quite a nice little project. Special though, because it's pretty. I do like a bit of heat embossing. You've probably been able to tell that. I do use it quite a lot. So has anybody got any questions so far? It's pretty much easy. Sorry about the noise, it does make a noise. the acrylic is kind of like nails down the blackboard. Hi Penny. Hi Nihad. You okay? So what has everybody been up to? Come on, let me in on it. I've had a very chilled out time since Christmas. I haven't really done a great lot. I've concentrated on me for a change. I've been reading, been getting on with my exercises. I'm doing alright. Got a big wedding coming up this year and I need to get in shape. So. And there's a lovely lady on YouTube, and she does exercises for the over 50s, and they're really, really good. They're fun as well. She's not a nuisance when, you know, sometimes when you follow exercise classes, you feel like they're being really patronising, but she's really sweet. And they're not difficult. Now I do a 30 minutes every morning, sets me up for the day. There we go. Right, not too many more to do now, girls. So, have we got any questions? No? No questions. Good. As I said, you can do this in various different mediums. I'm not sure if you can watercolour. I've never really tried watercolouring, but I suppose it's the same as using distress ink, isn't it? I'll have to give that a go next time. As you can see, I'm not being too careful about it. It's pretty slapdash actually, but you can't see that on the other side. Just one on there, and then we'll go in with the darker colour. Hi Wendy. Hi Denise. Thank you for joining us. You could even get the grandkids to colour this in. I'm sure my little granddaughter would like to do this. And there'd be no stress about it going out of the lines. There we go. So we've just got the yellow to do now, so lid on. And then check it from the front to make sure we haven't missed anything. But I think we have done okay. Yeah. Right, the big reveal. So when you turn it over, you've got, I'll leave that one to dry, I'll bring this one up. You've got that. And as you can see, it's not too tidy on the back, but looks fabulous from the front. Okay, so let's leave that to dry a minute. And we'll get on with bringing the two circles. And this one, which is dry, I'm going to glue on there. And you'll see instantly it brightens up. If you've got it with the dark background, it looks quite dull. Hi Judy. Hi Susan. If you put it onto white, then the colours seem to get a little brighter. So I am going to put this on with glue because we're putting an edge on. We're putting like a frame on it. So you're able to put it on with glue, because once you put the frame on, you can't see the glue. Clean that off, it's got a bit smudgy. So I'm going to put a line of glue around the outside here. If you've got one of those thin nozzle ones, great, that'll do it as well. And then pick up the dry one to start with and pop it on the top. And it is exactly the same size because you use the same die to cut it out. And then we need to make sure it's actually sitting on there and it's flat. Because when you do use these markers, it does, because it's quite thick medium acrylic paint, they do kind of, it does kind of change the way the vellum feels. It goes quite thick, but it's fine. It'll work fine. Okay, make sure it's pressed down. That's all you need to do. Hi Jan. They don't take long to dry either, that's dry now. So again with this one, I suppose you could use red liner tape around this if you wished. But we're going in with the glue. And again, we're down with this one, just to brighten it on the white. Just slide a little bit, Vellum does with glue on it, but hey ho, we're there. And then those two frames that we cut out before using the two of Julie's Dinkies, like that. There we go. We can use them now to put around the outside there and just give it a nice finish. So I'm going to put the glue on the frame and then we'll put that one on and then we're almost there with the decorating. So just pop it on. Just gives it a nice, neat finish. Hi Kim. Was it you, Kim, who asked about this card? I can't remember now. I've slept since then. My brain is not the greatest at the moment. No, it doesn't have to be acrylic pens at all. You can use your distress inks, you can use your pencils, you can use alcohol markers, you can use whatever you've got. Just colour it on the back so that, you know, it sort of shines through from the back then. You can use any medium you've got. It doesn't have to be acrylic pens. It's just that I have the acrylic pens. So just to change it up, because I always use distress inks or watercolour, you know, when I'm colouring the flowers. I thought I'll change it up and use this. So, all right, yeah, clean card's on its way, Kim, next. I'm going to do a clean card for you, doll, after I've done this, because it's not going to take me very long to do those clean cards, as you'll see. Right, it does take a little time, like I said. I apologise for you watching me having to stick this down. But you do have to make sure it's stuck. Keep going until it kind of adheres to itself. And then once it's down, you can give it a good press. And if you don't find you put enough glue on, or you've got the heating on and it's drying too quick, just go back in and put it on. Okay, there we go. Right, so that's that bit done. So now I'm just going to wipe, got a bit of glue there. I'm going to put the cardboard on the back because I do want them to sit up a little bit proud from the card base. Okay, so pop that on. It's quite cold in this shed. I've got the heating on, but the glue does not seem to want to flow today for some unearthly reason, and it usually does. Right, okay, that's a press. So now you can put these onto your card base, okay, that we made, and it just gives it a little height and a little more interest. Right, so choose which way up you want it. I want it to be there, I think. And place it on. Press it down well. And then the same with the one on the bottom. Do the same. Flow. That's it. It's better. Give it a good squeeze. There we go. Now, as you know, with an easel card, you need to have a stopper on it. It needs to stop. I mean, because this is scalloped, it kind of stops itself anyway. But we are going to put some decoration on. So that's where I used this stamp set. Excuse me. In this stamp set, you can see you have full flowers. You've got a full one down here, and you've got these two that are full as well. So you can, what's that glue like? Yeah, it's great. I used to use pinflair glue, and it became too expensive because I do use an awful lot of it because I do classes as well. So I tried, when I started doing some samples for Hazel and Studio Light, I tried the Studio Light one, and it's £4.50. It's the same size as the pinflair, and in my eyes, it's as good. So, but everyone's got their own favourites, haven't they? But I do like that, and I do use a lot of it. Right, so what? The stamps. I want full flowers to go on the side of this. So what I did was, in exactly the same way I did these hexagons, I heat embossed in white the full flowers and some of the half flowers as well. And they came out like this, and you can see the difference in the texture of the vellum. It goes quite thick. So what I pulled out was that one from there with the leaves. I kept the leaves on. I pulled that one from there and kept the leaves on. And then I pulled, let me see, a half one. Yeah, I think it goes like that. I pulled that one and that one, even though they're joined, it's fine because one sits under the other. It's absolutely fine, no problem. And I kept the leaves, and I pulled one full one from there again. Okay? And on the back, I've got double foam pads. I couldn't use cardboard on this because you would be able to see through and see the colour of the cardboard. So to start, I'm just going to pop that up where I want the stopper to be. And I'm going to pop that one down there. And this bit that's hidden here, this bit that's cut out, you can see it's not a full flower. Okay? You can hide that with another one on top of it. And that becomes then the stopper to stop it falling over. Okay? And the other two that are here, I'm going to put one up the top to decorate that side. I'm going to put one down here. And then I've cut out some extra bits of leaves, like from there, and then I just cut it off. And I chose, oops, those two from there. And then all I'm going to do with these is pop them underneath. They've got foam pads on. Lift up the flowers and pop them underneath there so that they kind of, actually, shall I have that one there? Now, here's the big decision now. Yeah, I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to put that one underneath this one. I do like a few flowers on the sides. You can't see the fact that they're only half flowers. I can't pick that up because my fingernails aren't long enough, so lift it up. There we are. Pop it underneath so you can't see it's a half leaf. And pop that one over the top. There we go. And then once that's on and it's stuck, you can manipulate these and you can give them some dimension. So that is the basic of the card. And then we need some sentiments on it. Okay. So I wasn't sure what colour I wanted, and I'll always keep them to one side and use them on another card. So I used the Happy Birthday from Hazel's Sentiment Medley, and I did them with the colours that I have on here, but varying whether the colour was in the background. I'm not right sure about that one. No, I don't like that one on there, so you can check that. So then I did it with a white background to see if that stood out. Yeah, that's okay. Don't mind that. White background on that one. I'm leaning towards the dark colours. So it's going to be the white background or the orange background so it stands up. Either of them look quite nice. But I'm going to go with the white, I think. So pop them in your drawer for another time. And all you need to do is pop this on now. I mean, the one I did for a sample, I think I did. Just make sure you've got your cards straight when you put your sentiments on. So it's probably best to do it while it's up in the air. The one I did for Julie, I think, was Happy Anniversary. But you could do this with hearts, if you've got Hazel's Heart die set. Philippa's little dotty ones that she did, make it a smaller pattern. So I know where my happy's going. So do I want it odd? No, do I want it straight on? There we go. And all I've done to finish it is put glossies in the middle of these flowers that are standing up. So we've got that now. I will put a photograph of this on later, and you've made the easel card base as well. So if you find that it doesn't really want to stand up, you can lift them up and then it will stand up perfectly like that. Okay, so that's that one done. And Kim asked me, I put some clean and simple ones on the other day. I wanted to do a big push on the charity cards, give them out this year early. I sort of wanted to do some for the beginning of the year and some for the end of the year. So I wanted to do clean and simple ones, and this is what I came up with. As you said, we seen it the other day. I put about 5 or 6 of them on the other day, and yeah, they worked well. So here we go. It's a 5x7 card, and I will be using the Sentiments from the Heartfelt Sunflower set and this background stencil. And I'll also be putting on a banner from Julie's Stamps and Banner sets, and that has been heat embossed in white. Okay, I just like the difference between the black and the, you know, and the white of the card. Really stands out. But of course you could do it in white if you want. It looks just as good. So we've got a 5x7 card, and we've got a 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 piece of white card to go on the top. Again, 300 GSM. I only ever use 300 GSM. Don't use anything less. So I'm going to go with the stars, I think. So the first thing we do is decide what colours we're going to use. And I'm going to go with 2 colours, which is Wilted Violet and Pink Pitch Flamingo. Now, I'm using a brush and a stencil thing. These have already got ink on from the last time I used them. So I want this to be quite delicate. I don't want this to be dark colours. I want the sentiment to stand out. So the darker I do it, the less likely you're going to see the sentiment, you know. I mean, you could heat emboss the sentiment in white, that'd be great, but I'm going to use the stars, and I'm not going to re-ink this. I'm going to leave what ink is on there. I'm not re-inking it. Not now. It might be that there's none on there at all, and then I will have to, but I'm just going to gently go through the stars, okay? I want this pale, and then I'm going to move them down a bit, and I'm going to put a few up here, and then I'm going to go to the pink brush and use that. And then it will fade into pink on the card, and then move it down a little bit more. Just avoiding the ones you've just done, so they don't, I mean, if you overlap it, it's not the end of the world, but I'm just going to put a few more there. Okay, there we go. That's it. That's all it takes. And I haven't re-inked, right? So next thing you need to do is bring in your stamp platform. Get rid of that paper. If you want to go dark by all means. I just like the delicacy of the, you know, the pastel-y colours. I mean, I don't know whether you can see it right there, but it works fine. So, choose what sentiment you're going to have. And I like all of these, to be honest. So it's wishing you everything wonderful. Wishing you a day as special as you are. Or you are wonderful in every way. I think I'll use that one. I like that one. Wishing you everything wonderful. So, decide where you're going to place it. I do it by eye, and then you bring out your black VersaFine. Okay, and you go over the top. Now, I always tend to do this part first, because sometimes you get too excited and go in with do this black stamping first, and then when you go over the top, it hasn't quite dried, and you smudge it. And, you have to start all over again. So I want this to be really black, 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 black. So I'm going to do it a couple of times. Okay, there we are. That's well black enough for me now. So give it a wipe so you don't get it on your fingers, and put it away before you lose it. I love this set. I love the font on it. It's really, really nice. So that's that done. Get rid of that, and then enjoy your special day. So take the backings off and line it up. Try and get it straight. If it's not, forgive me, I'm quite a way away from the actual thing itself. That looks pretty straight. Yeah, that looks straight. And now all it's left to do, and unfortunately I don't have any of the glossies in black left, which is kind of annoying. I'll have to get some more. Don't like being without my glossies, so I'm going to use pearls. Okay, so we'll have one there, one there, and one there. And then all you need to do is grab your card base and decide whether you want to put it on so it stands up with some cardboard, or whether you want to put it on flat, or you want to put foam pads on it, or whatever. But it's clean and simple as it comes. And as you see, it doesn't take 5 seconds to make that card. But you could do a whole load of them, different sentiments, different colours. Use the stars, make it a man's one. If you have a look on the one I did, the post I put up last week, with I think I've got 5 or 6 on it. They're all the same, but they're just different colours. Okay, so I'm just going to put this one on flat for now. All right, you can decide whether you use dimension on it. There we go. So, could that not be any easier to create your batch making cards for charity? And then we've got that one, of course, that we've just finished from start to finish, kind of. Lot prepped. So yeah, that's it. Half an hour. Happy days. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you do decide to make one, tag me, because I'd love to see it. And I'll be back in a fortnight with another one. And Philippa will be back on the Tuesday in between doing her techniques, her wonderful technique Tuesdays. So thanks for joining me, and have a great day. Bye.